Hey, man. All right. So this is the third third part of a 6-part series that I'm doing. This week we're talking about the thoughts. The series is covering the whole model. This is a tool that you can use and that I use during my coaching sessions to help men to actually understand how their thoughts are actually influencing their life. So if you're interested in any of the others, there's links to the model or explaining the whole model in the show notes. Or if you're wanting to go back and listen to what I had to say about your circumstance, that's also in the show notes. Or you can go to episode 117 to cover, or relaxedmale.com/117, and that'll give you the information on your circumstance alone. Or you can also go to relaxedmale.com/116 and be able to listen to what the model has to say. These are also available for you on your platform of choice. You can actually go back and listen to the previous episodes. So there you go. That's what we're going to be talking about this week. We're talking about the truth of your thoughts. Why are those thoughts that you're having actually the root of your problem or the secret to what your success is? Talking about that this week on episode 118 of The Relaxed Male. Hello and welcome to Relaxed Male, a podcast that helps men change their relationship with themselves. I am your host, Brian, and I am a men's life and mindset coach who is here to help you understand that you don't have to suffer at your own expense. You can live your dream, and I encourage you to set, then pursue your goals. So join me as I change the mindset and attitudes of men so that they can be the leaders of their families and their destinies. Hey, man. Hello and welcome to Relaxed Male. All right, guys. So we're talking about thoughts this week and why those are actually the key to whether you are making it or breaking it. And like I said in the intro, this is a series. So this is part 3 of a 6-part series. If you want to see go look at any of the other previous episodes, you can actually do that by going over to the show notes on your podcast of choice, or by going to Relaxed Male episode 1, or relaxedmale.com/118. That'll take you over to the page. But before we actually get started, I wanted to say hello and welcome to all you new guys who are coming in, and women. I actually found out that we've got a few women who actually listen to the show. A lot of them are listening with their husbands, but at the same time, some of them are just listening because they're trying to find ways of helping their sons to actually grow up and become better men, more masculine, more productive men, and to make sure that nice guy that is residing in so many of us men do not develop. If you've got a nice guy in you, it's okay. You don't have to worry about the nice guy. The nice guy will begrudgingly leave when you start taking control of your life, especially taking control of what your thoughts are. And that's what we're going to be talking about this week. So what are thoughts? Probably the best way to look at it. A thought is just nothing more than a sentence that you have in your head. That is all that is. A thought is, my wife doesn't like me. Well, that you can't prove that. You can't prove that beyond the shadow of a doubt. Now, she may have said she doesn't like you, but again, you can put down that that's a circumstance that your wife said she doesn't like you, but can you actually prove that? I've got a black Mazda. Okay. That's provable. I have got a dark Mazda. No, not really, because, some people may actually look at that and go, oh, no. You ought to try Vanta Black. That's a black Mazda. We can actually have so many different definitions. So if there's any time you throw something around and somebody else can look at it and go, yeah, no, I don't think that's really true. I am broke. All right. How much do you have in your account? I've got $700 in my account right now. I am flat broke. You may have a guy living on the other side of the tracks who goes, dude, I don't even have a bank account and I've got $3 in my hand right now. That's all I've got. I can't even buy anything. Which one's right? Is guy who was $700 in his account broke? Well, to him, it is. The thought that he's having is that he's broke. While I see many people who are actually living in poverty, and they are laughing and smiling, and they're doing great, and they have a wonderful life. Why? Because of the thoughts that they are having about their circumstance. Now, our circumstances are, like I said before in the previous episode, 117, circumstances are just baseline facts. They're not positive. They're not negative. They are completely neutral. The thoughts that you have about that circumstance is actually where your pain, your suffering, your sense of accomplishment, sense of joy actually come from. And we often have a lot of fights about what our thoughts are, because our thoughts is our reality, essentially. But it's a neat thing because we can actually alter our reality. It's almost like we've got, the reality stone on the Infinity Gauntlet. We can activate that reality anytime we want. We can make a little adjustment with just a thought, and we could take a bad situation and turn it into a good situation. You just went off and lost $100 million. Your business is in ruin. That can be seen as a very bad thing, right? Or you can say, all right, well, I learned a whole lot of crap from that one. Let's not let somebody who's a first year accounting student, first year accounting student have access to our books. That's not a good idea. We can have all different types of thoughts about all the different types of circumstances and situations that are going on in our life. Our thoughts are our biggest obstacle. They are what keep us playing small, playing it safe, and not reaching out and doing big, audacious goals. Or they can be the reason why we are doing those big, audacious goals. And we're striving to make that goal happen. And we're putting all of our effort into it. And we are doing what we can. We are, we have a choice. We can look at our wife being upset at us for whatever reason, whatever we did. Maybe we didn't take out the trash. Maybe we left dirty dishes on the coffee table, which I do often. And we take, and our wife is frustrated with us because we did that. And that our thoughts about her being frustrated causes us to shrink down. We stop being manly. We stop being the masculine man we need to be. And we regress into that little boy. And then we wonder why our wife doesn't want to have anything to do with us because, well, we become a little boy. She's not going to find a little boy sexy. She's not going to find a little boy alluring. She's not going to find a little boy to be a good leader. You might even have problems where, you're trying to get your kids in the house to pick up after themselves. Well, you can either have the thought that they're being inconsiderate and stomp around and yell and take the connections that you have emotionally with them and tear them apart with your words. Or you can have the thought of, okay, well, I'm not being a good leader as of yet. I haven't inspired them to become the better human. And I've got to figure out how to do that. You can take anything. I've got a client that's really struggling with, he likes his house to be a particular way. And he's dating a woman who's got kids and they have their house the complete opposite. And he is hitting so much frustration, so much anger over the fact that when he walks into the house is a disaster area instead of the museum that he's used to living in. Why? Well, that's because of his thoughts. He's got the thoughts that people should be like this. Those thoughts that he's thinking that people should be living in a particular way is a term called the manual. And that is how we believe other people should behave. That is shoulding on another person. I've talked about several times where a person will if you were to walk in, if you had somebody walk into your house, you've only known them, maybe you met them once and you've had them over to the house, and they come over and they just start making all sorts of rude comments and snarky, a lot of snark, a lot of condescending, I get the right word, condescending remarks about what your house is like. Well, he's a stranger walking into your environment and he's dogging you. Are you going to take what he says seriously? I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be no. You might even turn around and go, dude, you can leave. I don't want you in here anymore. Now, kids don't have that ability to tell us, well, they can, but the adult also has the ability to go, yeah, kid, you're 5 years old. Shut up. And not listen to what the kid has to say. But at the same time, a lot of kids realize they don't have that authority, that power. And so they do what they can in their own way and dealing with their own thoughts, which are along the lines of, Jack, dude, you're coming into my house telling me that we live like pigs. Why should I respect anything you say? So you're separating, making a disconnection from the kids and from his girlfriend, all because he's wanting the house to be his way. And it's not his house, is it? But it's a thought. The whole anguish and frustration that he's experiencing is because he thinks people should be this way. You have a lot of those issues also. You think your son should not smoke cigarettes. You think your son should not be drinking. You think your son should be making straight A's at school. Why? Why should he be doing that? Why should he be making straight A's at school? Well, because he can get into a good college. Well, if he doesn't want to go to college, what is straight A's in school going to do for him when he's out in the real world? And being honest with yourself, the answer is honestly nothing. Now, if you're a parent and you're listening to your kid and your kids are listening along, there are advantages to getting A's, to working hard. There are advantages, but for what I'm saying, there's nothing. Now, I'll go ahead and cover this. So, Junior, if you're listening with your dad and you just heard that, school, the reason why you actually want to work hard in school, and even if you aren't planning on going to college, is because this shows you that you can do hard things. It is the thought work that you need to have so that you can actually get to the next level, that level that you want to have. Now, a lot of times, yeah, you're going to have teachers who are jerks. That's okay. Yeah, and we'll go into that stuff later on. But because right now we're talking about just thoughts in general. And yeah, I probably just blew a lot of parents' minds on like, whoa, no, what? I can't listen to this while my kids are around. It's almost like saying Santa Claus doesn't exist. So, but most seniors, by the time they're seniors, they realize, yeah, if I ain't going to college, it's why work? Why bust my butt this hard? Well, there are advantages and there's reasons, but as a whole, your grade is not going to influence what you're doing as a job. As a matter of fact, most people, the thought that they have as to teenagers having to have, we all hear teenagers' thoughts, especially when it comes to like advanced algebra. When am I ever going to use the Pythagorean's theorem? In real life, not many times. I mean, if you get into carpentry, okay, you may need to use things that actually have angles in them. You may need to figure that out, and that may come in handy there. But if you're driving a semi truck, honestly, no. You may use the Pythagorean theorem. You may use a lot of advanced algebra, but you're not going to use it as writing it down on paper. It's stuff that's going to happen automatically in your life. Your brain's just automatically going to do calculations. That's why a lot of people can shoot skeet and be able to hit it, because their brain is actually doing mathematical equations right off the bat. without having to think, well, okay, let's write this down. I need to be moving my, they're not going to think that. They're not going to actually think a problem through. It just helps people to understand how math is actually just shows a lot. The advanced math, the algebraic stuff and the calculus stuff just shows people how. But and I'm getting way off topic. So let's get back onto thoughts. I was digging myself a hole and went down a rabbit hole. Our thoughts are what we have about a certain circumstance, whether that circumstance is our wife is not talking to us. Our wife is asked for a divorce. Our kids our son is out, smoking in the boys' room. Our daughter is out, is sneaking out at night to go see her boyfriend. Now, those may be circumstances, and how we respond to those circumstances are thoughts. Our thought is, they shouldn't do that. That's a sentence in our mind. That's all that is. Whether they should or they shouldn't is just a thought. Now, there may be good reasons as to why to have that thought. And a lot of those reasons are because of what we were taught when we were kids. We had thoughts shared with us, and we've saved those thoughts, and we incorporate those thoughts into how we think. But at the same time, you can change what those thoughts are. Oh, my daughter is going to hate life when she gets home, because I'm going to be sitting there right there in bed, right there waiting for her to turn the light on after she sneaks back into her room. Oh, that's something you can do. You could also confront her when she sits down at the breakfast table. If she does sit down at the breakfast table, you can, or you could have other thoughts as like, well, she's going to learn the hard way, and which is what most of us have to do. We do have to learn the hard way. We struggle and, fight ourselves and cause ourselves so many sleepless nights because we don't want our child to have to learn stuff the hard way. But yet the hard way is actually probably one of the best ways in the world for our kids to learn. Why do they not want to drink? Well, first off, you're going to feel like crap when you first wake up in the morning. And a lot of people, me included, have made sure to add on a little extra pain to accentuate, the discomfort of waking up hungover, sick to your stomach. And, granted, Junior's not happy about it at all, but at the same time, you're not happy. So everybody's unhappy. Everyone's pissed off. Or you could just go, very loudly go, "Hey, heard you had a good time last night." And, just laugh as you see him cringe because, you just drove a ice pick through his ear with your voice, So our thoughts are that start to our model. We have a thought. That thought leads to a feeling. And that feeling goes to an action. The action goes to generates our results. And that result, 90% of the time, leads back up to what our thought is. If it doesn't lead back up to the thought, we've got something wrong with it, what our model is. But why do you have that pain and suffering in your life? Why are you staying up late at night wondering why your wife left you? Why are you staying up, causing yourself all this anguish because you waited until the last minute to finish a project? Why is it that you want to start a business, but you have yet to do anything towards that business? Why is it that you're wanting a promotion, but you don't want to put in the work for that promotion? All that is because of thoughts. The thoughts that you have, those thoughts that are causing you the pain, can be changed. You have choices. Believe it or not, even when your back is against the wall and you often see that there's no other solution, that is not right, not true. You've actually got other options. You just may not want to do those other options. You're trying to look for the easiest way out. You're trying to find, how do I get out of this situation with the least amount of pain possible? Well, if you've gone off and cheated on your taxes, or if you've gone and you embezzled money, you're not going to get out of that very easily without just stepping up and going, I screwed up, dude. Here's the money that I embezzled. I'm ready to go to jail. I know I'm going to have to go to jail. You can have those thoughts, or you can have the thought of, I'm getting out of here. I'm running for the hills. I'm gone. And then you're on the life of the run. You're going to be on the run for the rest of your life. There's nothing. Which would be the better solution? Well, I don't know. That's your choice. I can't tell you how to think. A coach doesn't show you how you should think. We're not going to should all over you. We may play with your thoughts and go, well, dude, okay, so what's up with this thought? Oh, let's poke a hole in that thought. Oh, what about, you said this, but what about this thought? And what about that? And what about that? And what about that? And show you that those thoughts are just vapor. And the reason why you haven't gotten your business started, the reason why you have spent the past 3 years learning how to start a business, though you've not ever taken the action, is because you're scared to make that first step. Well, it's not going to work for me. Well, how do you know it's not going to work for you? Have you tried any of the things that you've learned? Have you applied the knowledge, or are you just collecting knowledge? If you want to be able to grow and you want to become the better person, you take the knowledge that you have learned and you apply it. But to be able to do that, you have to be able to change your thought. I'm not going to be able to do it. This is not going to work. To let's see how this works. Let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. Let's start small, because to be able to take massive actions, you've got to have results. What's the result of your action? Well, that action is going to come from your emotions. So if you can change your emotions to something to where you're comfortable, you can try to do something comfortable by going, I'm just going to sit here and watch Netflix tonight instead of, writing 1,000-word blog post. Okay. Well, then what's the result? Is the result what you're wanting? That blog post isn't getting written yet, but by gosh, you've gotten three episodes into The Witcher, or maybe you're watching the Book of Boba Fett, or maybe you're going through watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe in chronological order. Whatever it is you're doing, whatever you're doing is leading to a result. Is that result serving you? If not, start with your thoughts. What are you thinking, and why are you thinking that? Most powerful question you can ask yourself or anybody else. Why? That's why 2-year-olds ask it incessantly. Why? Well, because it's blue. Well, why is the sky blue? Because it needs to show the clouds. Well, why does it got to show the clouds? So that we know that it's going to rain. Well, why does it rain? We've all had the kid who just asks why. And why? Because he wants to learn. He wants to grow. And if we are avoiding that need to grow, that need to learn by not asking why, we have our reasons. We want, our thoughts create so much pain because of the emotions. And we actually see those emotions, sadness, worry, anxiety. And you hear everybody these days going, I've got anxiety. Yeah. And so does every other human in the world. But why are you choosing to sit in that anxiety? Why do you like hanging out with that suit of anxiety on? And a lot of them go, well, I don't. Then why are you staying with it? Why are you identifying yourself as somebody with anxiety? So many people do. They sit there and go, well, I've got anxiety, or they'll even look at ADHD. I've got ADHD. Okay. That's your circumstance, dude. Congratulations. Circumstance, ADHD. You know who else had ADHD? Thomas Edison. Yeah, that dude could not focus on one thing for more than just a little bit, and he got so much done. ADHD can be viewed as a superpower, man. So you can either go, oh, well, I got ADHD. I really can't, I'm not going to be very successful. Thomas Edison was pretty darn successful, man. He had a lot of inventions on his roster because he didn't choose to let ADHD control him. It was just, he accepted it. It was just part of his life. All right, well, dude, I'm going to just be talking to this. Oh, hey, look, a squirrel. Oh, look, a doggy. He's was bouncing all over the place. He had a lot of energy. He was able to go through. He would stop and he would take little 5-minute naps on his research table. And then he'd wake up and, all right, well, let's take off again. He was a master at taking little short breaks and then pursuing again. Now, if you can figure out how to actually get yourself to focus, and that's a lot of things that people with ADHD and and the like have a problem with. Why? They can't focus. But I'm sure I've not ever been diagnosed, but I'm sure someone would probably say I've got a touch of ADHD because I have a hard time focusing. Yet there are times that I can sit here and talk for, let's see here, where the timer says I've got 27 minutes in by the time I do all my editing stuff, maybe a little bit less, but still. Obviously, I can focus. I can talk about a single topic for almost 30 minutes now. And it's because I'm not identifying myself as an ADHD type of person. Do I have it? Good chance. But am I identified as? No. I wouldn't identify myself as somebody with ADHD. The same as a person. Do I suffer from anxiety? Oh, hell yeah. I'm scared to death when I have to stand up in front of a bunch of people to talk. I get anxious. I feel that anxiety whenever I have to go meet somebody new. If I'm going to talk to somebody new, somebody I've not ever talked to before, guess what? Anxiety. It comes rolling in. You're doing something new. You can look at that anxiety or you can take a breath. And I know I'm getting a lot into what the feeling stuff down the road, but it's all these feelings that I'm talking about are all because I have a thought of, I've not ever done this. I'm looking in the past and I've never talked to this person before. Oh, well, who cares if I've talked to this person before or not? This person may have even made snide comments about coaching. Oh, well, let's have a conversation with him. Let's learn something about him. Let's learn something about what they're looking for in the world. And maybe I can actually help them. Maybe I can coach them to that level that they need because they're stuck on this little hump. They've got a thought that's hanging them up and they don't know why. And coaching may work. Coaching can work for you if you're trying to get yourself over a particular problem. You're wanting to start that business, but you don't believe you know enough. Well, how do you know whether you know enough or not? Have you tried? Have you taken the small steps, gotten the small results that equate to a massive action? No? Well, guess what? That's a thought you're having. That's the reason why you haven't taken the step is because you've told yourself, you've had all this little string of sentences that is in your mind telling you why you can't do it. You want to know what those are? You want to be able to keep track of what those are? Start doing a thought download before you sit down and do your model. Do a thought download. What's this thought? What's this thought? What's this thought? Thought. Circumstance. Okay. That's a circumstance. There's a thought on that and 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 that. And I'm feeling this and this and this and this and this. And as you get around and you actually get to really paying attention to what your thoughts are, you can really and easily start to go, all right, well, I am feeling anxiety because of this. But I am not going to run from that anxiety. I am going to let it dissipate because I have the thought that I can help this person by coaching them. I can help this person by getting them into the Brotherhood of Men, which is a men's group that I have. If you're interested, that information is over on the website. Brotherhood of Men is over at relaxmail.com/brotherhood. And if you want coaching from me, relaxmail.com/coaching. Easy enough. I could have a thought about that little pitch that I just made. Oh, well, people aren't going to want to hear that. Well, how do I know? I don't know whether you want to hear me advertise my skills to you, but I do know you want to be able to hear how to resolve those problems. And sometimes you need maybe all the podcast is all you need to have to be able to get yourself over that hump and get past that obstacle, get past that thought blockade that you're having. But then again, it could be that, all right, I'm trying this stuff. It's not working. Maybe I need to step up. I wonder if Brian has any services that I could utilize. Well, yes, I can coach, or you can join a men's group that I host. And these are both powerful ways to get you to change the way you think. Change your thoughts, change your future. So guys, with that, I want to thank you very much for listening. If you have any comments, questions, anything like that, please, you can shoot them over to Brian with a Y at relaxmail.com, or go to relaxmail.com/contact, leave a and fill out the form there. If you want help, need some help, want some coaching, I can do that. Relaxmail.com/coaching. Or if you want to join our brotherhood, that's over at relaxmail.com/brotherhood. And those are two great tools that I have available. I'm working on making a workshop for men, our fellow brothers and men who are going through a divorce, helping them to change the way that they see the divorce, change why thinking that the ex-wife or the soon-to-be ex-wife is being so mean to them. We're going to look at those things. We're going to examine those, and we're going to do coaching in this workshop also. So if you would like a little bit of free coaching, that's a great place that you can actually go. If anything that I said in here really opened your eyes, really got you to thinking, share it out. Share it on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, Parler, Getter, or any other podcast, or any other social media platform you have. If you know somebody who this would really, really help them out, share this out. Let's get the word out. There's this site, there's this group, there's this community called The Relaxed Male out, and that it is there to help men live the best life they possibly could live on their terms, live their life the way they need to live their life. So with that, guys, I want to thank you so much for listening. Get out there, start making those dreams, start forming those dreams. Allow yourself to dream. Dream big. Dream as huge as you want to dream. And then start making the plans to take those steps, and then take those steps. If you run into a problem, know that problem is in your head. It's that thought. Get that thought changed, and you'll start having the puzzle pieces start to fall into place. So guys, with that, thank you all again for listening. I'm Brian Goodwin, men's coach for Relaxed Male. I'll talk to you next week. Till then, bye.